Let's bring in Brian Claypool, criminal defense attorney. Brian, good morning to you. A couple specific questions. Broadly speaking first, however, how do you think the state did with her as a witness on the stand?
Hey, Bill, always great to be with you. On direct examination, I think the prosecution did a great job. Why? Because they established through Cassie Ventura that she was lured into this relationship or this web of abuse, of coercion, of manipulation, of exploitation, that Sean Combs controlled her life, and that she was basically forced to engage in these freak-offs. And, Bill, that there were some male escorts who were paid money. That's important because you got to prove a commercial sex act. But that said, on cross-examination, Sean Combs' lawyers did a very good job, like Nate said, of establishing a long 10-year relationship between Cassie and Sean Combs, where Cassie even said, hey, yeah, look, I enjoy these freak-offs. At one point, she said on cross-exam, Bill, that she thought the freak-offs were an integral part of her life. That helps the defense. What it boils down to is this consent or is this coercion? And that's what the jury's got to struggle with.
Okay, so the defense is saying that she was willing, right? No one forced her or anyone who was involved in this activity against their will. What's intriguing to me is who testifies next. Because it's my understanding that they will have witnesses who will not use their real names. And I just based on your legal experience, what does that suggest to you?
Well, yeah, Bill, I represent a lot of sexual abuse victims, and usually, even in California and a lot of other states, they are permitted to have their names be kept anonymous to keep them from embarrassment and humiliation. From what I'm hearing, the next witness is going to be another victim. And I think that's important for the prosecution, because you want to run victim after victim after victim in front of this jury. And Bill, what the prosecution really needs now is a victim who was not in a long relationship with Sean Combs, right? Somebody who had a short-term encounter with Combs where he forced her to engage in these freak-offs. One other key piece of testimony in this case is going to be critical now, Bill, is the judge allowed the prosecution to bring in a forensic psychologist. Why is that important? Because she can then tie in why Cassie Ventura stayed in this relationship for 10 years, even though it's abusive, to help the prosecution prove that she really was
That's
coerced.
an interesting point. Yeah, and that probably helped the jury, too, try and understand it. Brian, I've listened to a lot of legal analysis about this. Do you believe the state properly charged Diddy Combs in this case?
Great question, Bill. I think as to the racketeering charge, what is that? That's where the prosecution's got to prove basically a criminal enterprise, that Sean Combs was using bad boy records and the staff to create this complex web of luring women in and abusing them and drugging them and controlling them. And that's where I think the prosecution is overcharged. I haven't heard any evidence yet in this case about employees of the record company helping or aiding and abetting Sean Combs to help him create what's called a criminal enterprise. I think that is an overcharge. That is a really hard charge to prove. Their best chance at getting a verdict is really on the sex trafficking charge that we just talked about.
Very interesting answers. I think the technical forensics are fascinating, too. They're going back 16 years, the BlackBerry text messages. And they're having her read them in court. It's a fascinating case. We'll see what happens. A lot of people just can't stand it because of the nature of the charges, too, and the activity that they engaged in. Brian, thank you. I hope you come back, okay? Brian Claypool, thanks.